he didn't challenge us only as a company, he challenged us as individuals to basically, acknowledge what do each of us have to do on our own to be part of a stronger team. Hi, I'm Stuart Debowsky. I'm an architect. I own a firm called the Debowsky Design Group. Our tagline is, "A house is not a home until you love where you live." Well, I've known Will for a long time, and I've seen the work that he's done with other firms, I guess most notably law firms, and we turned 15 this year. And our business is at the point where we're starting to look towards bigger projects, ways to sort of sharpen the focus of the team towards maybe a smaller quantity, but of a higher quality. And I thought Will would be a great way to kind of jumpstart the year and get the team focused. The day was not obviously about architecture. It was about identifying the strengths of our team and understanding what it took to kind of bring the team to the goal. I actually wasn't really sure what to expect. I knew that Will would come in with a goal in mind, and I knew that he would bring in a level of involvement with the team. That was probably one of the greatest successes of the day, was that I felt like everybody felt comfortable participating, and actually, everybody had their input, which was great. I think the first one was that having Will facilitate the group, it allowed everyone in the group to be able to sort of, almost in speaking back to him, appreciate each other. And one of the big takeaways from the group was that, we're not a perfect team, we're not a perfect business, but there's a real camaraderie amongst the team, and the team really does sort of stand up for each other and assist each other. That reassurance was important to somebody like me. Our team works remotely, so it's interesting for me to bring everybody into the same room together and then have everyone kind of looking across the table saying, listen, I don't know everything, but I feel supported by someone else at this table all the time, and I know that I'm a support to someone else at this table all the time. So that in and of itself was a victory for us. Then the second part, we talked about the idea of, if you did 30 projects at a smaller dollar value, or if you did 10 projects at a higher value, what would that mean to the firm? Because in reality, it doesn't actually mean necessarily more money into the firm. It just means a greater focus on a bigger scale project. And the way that Will kind of guided us through that was that everybody kind of reached the conclusion on their own, and then were reassured by it afterwards that the direction that the firm is headed is more towards larger projects that are more in depth and require more of our time and attention. And everybody sort of quickly got on board with the idea that having less projects that required more attention was a better way to go. And I think we all sort of internalized what that meant for us as individuals participating in that program. I was particularly impressed by the fact that, like, he took the time to like our colors for the firm and the font that we use in our logo. Like, he kind of went to that extra level, so that really kind of made it made the presentation feel like it was tailored towards us as opposed to just a generic kind of a thing. So I appreciated that. The whole thing was an aha moment. He brought this giant flip chart, which is these sort of mega post-it notes, and having him writing things and putting it up on the wall. Again, you have to understand this testimonial in the context of the fact that our team has never done it before. Like, we've literally only just talked to each other for however many years. So having an outsider that nobody else knew come in and really just basically writing our own words and putting those up on the wall was pretty impactful, I think, for the team to see. And the training itself was an aha moment. And then the little nuggets that we took throughout the day was that really everybody on the team had something profound to say. And it was, I think, a testimony to Will to pull that out of everybody. What he was able to do in a few hours with us was focus the team on the idea of basically higher end projects and the way that our mindset could be sharpened towards that particular goal. And I think, just to add on, one of the things that I really liked about it was that he didn't challenge us only as a company, he challenged us as individuals to basically, acknowledge what do each of us have to do on our own to be part of a stronger team. So that was kind of the surprise element for me anyway. I think that the best thing that came out of it was a sort of a mutual transparency amongst the team. He got everyone to basically acknowledge that we needed to rely on each other, and we sort of made, for lack of a better word, a commitment to each other to stay involved in each other's path towards this goal. The greatest part of it for me was that the team had been off for the week prior all the way up until that day. So really our first day back to work was Will coming in and kicking off the year. And it was a really great way to transition into the year, to the point where I will tell you that, even the next day, there was an energy amongst people really being fully entrenched in the tasks at hand. And there was a sort of a momentum that kind of carried into the year, as opposed to a ramping up. It was really, we were really in full gear by the time we hit the following day, and that, that has tremendous value, obviously. What he really galvanized for me was when he was sort of summarizing the day, he talked about the fact that there's a real strength amongst our team, that he certainly didn't, I don't think he was blowing smoke kind of a thing. I think in the end, an impression was made upon him that all these people from, several different countries and all these different walks of life are now kind of shoulder to shoulder towards a goal that's pretty ambitious, honestly. So, I'm not sure if we'll hit that goal, but I feel good about, the team that we have going towards that goal. I think it depends on what kind of a team you have. If you, I try really hard to sort of play down the sort of boss title. For me, I'm part of a team. I am the leader of a team, but I'm part of that team, and the role that I play is different than the role that other people play. So I think if you are an employer and you're open to the idea of a more collaborative environment, I think will make sense. If it's really just the kind of thing where you as a business leader just basically want your team to fall in line, then maybe do some training with Will directly on that. But it probably wouldn't make sense to bring your team into a more collaborative environment if that's what you're trying to run in that regard.